The entire workforce, right? Not just in the US, also in Europe and in Asia and in all other countries, they have all this similar issue, right? And we believe that we have the solution. Both Sphere, but also XR, the technology, can really help solve this problem, right? And what we actually do in a very, very simple term, or when you want to break it down to one single sentence, is actually we try to enable in-person experiences regardless of whether these people actually are in the same physical location or not. Meaning that your coworkers can be anywhere in the world, they can speak any language, and if or when you collaborate with them in Sphere, it feels like they're in the same room with you and they even speak your language. We'll show you in a second how we do that. It's actually very remarkable how this is done, but this is actually the promise. Because we believe fundamentally in human connections, right? We're not aiming to replace human connections, but we want to make it a lot easier in this new workforce paradigm where everyone's working, or so many people work remotely. We want to help people and employees and employers to kind of gain that edge again, that you feel like you're working with all your coworkers in the same space, even though they're anywhere in the world. Now the keynote speakers. First one is Evan Helda. He's the principal of spatial computing at AWS. All of them will share more how we actually work together, but all of the four of us, we work very closely with them. The first three are actually very close partners of ours, be it on the cloud side or device side or even the developer SDK side. And as I said, the last one will actually be one of our customers. We'd like to introduce our CTO, Colin Yao, and he's going to show you how this actually looks in our solution.
We're really excited to show you what we've been working on these past months. I'm going to quickly talk about what you're about to see, which is our next generation avatar system. Now, the number one benefit of a system like this, and I would really encourage you to try it in the demos, is it really injects an energy back into these remote collaboration sessions that's just not possible with 2D legacy conferencing tools. Now, why is this the case? Why is an avatar a great representation for this? It can move, it can indicate, it can emote in space in a way that's just not possible in a 2D screen. And not only that, all those subtle nuances that make a conversation, or an interaction with another person really natural are also included in this new system. Things like facial expressions, blinking, eye movements, and it's a really immersive experience where you really feel that technology fade to the background instead of thinking, I'm sitting in front of a screen talking and it's being broadcasted. Now, this avatar system helps us to bridge geographical barriers. People can collaborate no matter where they are in the world. What we're also introducing with our live translation is a way to close any gaps that might occur because of a lack of common shared language. So I can speak in my native language, I can hear and receive, and most importantly, understand in the language that I'm most comfortable with, regardless of who else I'm working with and what they may or may not speak. This allows our customers, our users, our partners, collaborating across borders, languages, anytime, any place, in a way that's really seamless and best understood according to their abilities.
XR 的即时翻译对于跨国项目带来重大改善，例如在跟中国供应商的合作过程中，双方都能更顺畅且无障碍地谈妥产品生产的预算与时间。
A live XR translation is a major improvement for customers working with their suppliers in countries like China. Now, each party can flawlessly understand one another. Less mistakes are made due to miscommunication, so products get to market on time and on budget.
With our new avatar system and the live translation, we're making it easier, more seamless, and more natural to collaborate with your colleagues all around the world.
So, enter Sphere and AWS. So just a high level of how Sphere runs on us today. There's multiple ways to run it. Primarily, most customers like to deploy as SaaS. It's just easy, it's turnkey. But a lot of customers who are more privacy or data sensitive, they want to be able to deploy it in their own private AWS accounts. And so fortunately, Sphere has containerized their application and their services, which makes it very easy to deploy in a private cloud environment, which is big in automotive, big in defense, and big in healthcare. We've also worked really closely with Sphere to run through some what we call well-architected reviews. These are some deep dives in their architecture to make sure that they're checking the boxes in terms of IT requirements for security and privacy. These guys have done an amazing job to build their architecture to easily get through IT requirements, and it makes our sales guys' job way easier. Now the more fun, sexy stuff. So you guys just saw the speech-to-text live translation, all powered by a variety of AWS services. So things like Poly, which is actually creating the conversational AI, Transcribe is actually doing text-to-speech, and Translate's doing the translation. What I'm most excited about, actually, is their integration with Lookout for Vision. So Lookout for Vision is a pre-trained computer vision algorithm out of the box to allow you to more quickly have an algorithm that can do things like anomaly detection. So this is important for like quality assurance, right? It could be for a piece of machinery, it could be for a general assembly line process, and this is a way to give a user who's wearing a headset with Sphere or a tablet with Sphere just more agency, right? Now you don't have to worry about the person being an expert, the algorithm's the expert, and it can easily pull up the right work instruction, the right 3D model to help them troubleshoot or understand what happened with that anomaly and how to fix it. And then lastly, we just launched a service called Twin Maker. This is our digital twin authoring tool. It allows you to really easily pull in a point cloud, a 3D model, tie various sensor data to it to create an operational digital twin. This is sort of the vision that people have talked about forever, right? Like AR has been very like 3D focused, very VR focused, but when you converge things like language, computer vision, digital twin, this is where the magic happens, and I think AR really shines and comes to life. All right, so you can see how we are helping these guys innovate and build all kinds of new features and capabilities. How are we really packaging this and going to market with them? So first off, Sphere is an APN certified partner, and this is an important process because it allows us to be able to take them through this fundamental technical review and rubber stamp them for our sales reps. So now they're in our system, and they can integrate with our CRM and our Salesforce tools. So now they're actually basically part of our portfolio, if you will, that our sales team can sell. From there, we now have Sphere in our ISV Accelerate program, which is an exciting program where we handpick some of the best and brightest ISVs in each market, and we put them in a category all of their own.
I'm going to walk you through a little bit about Qualcomm's view on the XR industry. There's a tremendous amount of activity happening in it right now, and Qualcomm's in a unique position. We kind of sit at the center of the industry, working with everybody, and so we can kind of have the luxury to be able to see 2-3 years out where this industry is going. And so I just couldn't be more excited about kind of the position the industry's in right now, the excitement around it. So I think the team at Sphere is launching this new version of the product just at the right time. Really exciting time to be in XR. Spaces itself as a platform is OpenXR conformant, so applications can be built in Unity or Unreal Engine, and then use the plugins from Epic and Unity to access the core of the Spaces platform. So the Sphere application, bundles those into it, and then can use it's just a smartphone application. The Sphere app runs on the Motorola smartphone in the case of the demos here, and can access all this perception technology for things like positional tracking or hand tracking or spatial meshing or reconstruction, that sort of thing. A big part of it is ISVs are solution providers or developers who are creating those next generation experiences like Sphere. So, we looked at the landscape of different providers out there and technologies in AR, and we said we want to be working with the premium ones, and Sphere rose to the top of that list, and so it was natural with Lenovo being an investor as well to work together. So we're really excited to be able to have Sphere 3 now running on Snapdragon Spaces on the A3.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great example of what we call a complete integrated solution. We have a single sign-on. It's a part number that our entire Salesforce can order and sell to our customers as well. And now with them being on the Snapdragon Spaces, we'll be very feature-rich, and we're really hoping to scale our A3 devices, and our VR devices as well. The other element of what we do, right, as part of this end-to-end solution is, I know there are a lot of integrators here, there's a lot of solution providers here. We are strong believers in the fact that XR is just like an IoT endpoint, right? It sits at the intersection of IT and OT.
I'm going to interview one of our main customers, Micron. I think most of you are probably familiar with them. That's a very large semiconductor company. And I'm going to talk to Ninkang Lee. He's the Director of Smart Manufacturing and AI. He's actually based in Singapore. We're going to demonstrate our Teams integration that we teased before live on stage here. So what we're going to see is that Ninkang is actually in his normal Teams client, the one he's using every day for a multitude of calls. And what we're using on our end is actually our Sphere client. So basically, I'll be communicating with him through our Sphere client. He's dialing in from Teams, and this is how we're going to conduct the interview.
That my team is now globally implementing it across all our manufacturing sites. So Sphere is now available across all kind of Micron manufacturing sites. And the two features that Sphere helps us increase tool availability is, number one, the remote assistance feature. So today, that's our first line of defense, actually. So we have a lot of tools, we have a lot of specialized tools. We need a lot of expert support. We need a lot of vendor support that for specific things that is more specialized to that specific machines. Some of it our technicians cannot do on their own. So we'll need to bring in this expert support. And it used to be call the vendor, wait for a few days, they fly in, we do a session, we fix the problem, and then the machine comes out. So today, the first line of defense is we have Sphere call our vendor. We do a collaborative session. And with the annotation technology, with the AR assets that you can now kind of introduce, these collaboration sessions are almost as good as an in-person kind of session. So actually traveling and lead times to support has now kind of dropped tremendously. The second way we do it is in the form of, at least in Micron, what we call AR SOP, augmented reality SOP. So today, our technicians are able to access SOPs and tool triggers on their iPads. So we've integrated also Sphere into our digital kind of SOP platform. And for specific SOPs that have been identified by our manufacturing excellence team, technicians can now use the AR kind of capability for guidance, to get data, to ensure that they have the right steps in a very kind of immersive format to follow when they do their kind of PM. And the reason why we do this is because we have found out that one of the key reasons that is affecting our machine availability, so that to push a little bit more availability, one of the key reasons is that there are certain activities that have been plagued by human error. And I think it's normal, right? You have various kind of skill levels between technicians, you have attrition, so new technicians come in, more mature technicians leave. And also you do have a lot of these PMs that are done not so frequently, so annual PMs, biannual PMs, and they are quite complex. So by mandating that our technicians will, for those specific steps, pick up the AR device, log into Sphere, get the right guidance for some of these more complex calibration activities, we are able to kind of raise the first time right percentage for our preventive maintenance activities today. So machine availability and tool availability has improved significantly.